recording yesterday's webinar with Dennis didn't get recorded, so before I do anything else for Dennis, he won't be happy because I haven't even told him properly yet. Okay, guys, so we've got a special guest tonight. We've got Joe Finn, and he has been in the Facebook group with us for quite a while, and he's been pretty active in there as well. I got together talking with Joe on Skype about, 3 or 4 weeks ago, Joe? And you showed me a neat little trick about how to get page one rankings in minutes. And we actually did it together on that Skype chat. And I got page one within minutes as well using this. And then we kind of developed it a little bit as well from there as well with your initial idea. And we sort of brainstormed what else we could do with it, which was kind of fun as well. So Joe's going to be sharing that with us. And the good thing about this is it's not got anything to do with press releases or buying backlinks or anything like that for that particular strategy. It's just a bit of fun, and it's an interesting thing to do, okay? So Joe, for those that are not aware of you, would you like to give us a sort of introduction, mini bio kind of thing? Tell us what you've been doing and about your past working with the search engines.
Sure. Okay, so Tony and Robert, first of all, thank you for having me, and thank you for everyone who attended and was attending. This is cool, and I'm seeing 86 people on the 86 people on the presentation. That's amazing. Who I am. Okay, so first of all, can everyone hear me? And please put yes in the chat box if you can. And Tony, are you seeing this chat box, or Tony?
I'm here. I just muted myself. Yeah.
Yeah, can you see the chat box? I'm not seeing anybody typing, so maybe
okay, don't worry, I'm going to monitor that one. Yeah, I'm going to monitor the chat box and stuff, but I just
okay, and I asked people to say yes if they can hear me, and so please confirm that they can hear me and see the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so I like this better than full screen. I hope people don't mind if because it's kind of weird. Okay, I'll switch to full screen anyway. Okay, so today I'm going to present 3 secrets that Google doesn't want you to know. Actually, there's 4 or 5 secrets here. Depends on how much time we have and how much we can cover. Who I am. So I'm Joe Finn. I've been on internet marketing since about 2005. Always worked on search engine optimization, or SEO, and that's because my own background before I started internet marketing is I'm a programmer and a developer, and I worked in 2 of the big 3 search engines on a component of the search engine called the crawler, which that's the robot that finds all the pages on the web.
Joe?
So that's, yeah.
Yeah, Joe, I just, I don't know if you can speak a little bit louder or move the microphone nearer to you.
Okay,
there's a couple of people saying.
Is this better?
No, that's further. Can you get closer?
Is this good?
Yeah, I think so. Guys, can you hear him okay?
I need to configure.
Yeah, people saying it's okay now. Yeah. That's fine, Joe.
Okay, I just raised the.
Thank you.
I just raised the speaker a little bit. I'll repeat. So I'm Joe Finn. I worked on 2 of the 3 big search engines, and I'm an engineer, and I'm also in internet marketing since about 2005. So I've been doing SEO all the time, and lately I've been doing social marketing, and basically my approach is as I live in California, and they drilled this into me when I went to school here, that the people that got rich in the California gold rush were not the people who went gold digging, but the people who supplied the shovels. So I'm always providing services to other people that need search engine optimization, and along the way I learned a whole bunch of stuff. So fair warning, there will be an offer at the end that'll help you really to rank your videos much better, and I think it'll be a very competitive offer, and it'll be something that you might want to check out. Also, I'm giving away at the end, for people that stay until the very end, I'm giving away my best 20 sites from which I'm getting backlinks, and those, even like 2 or 3 of those will really goose up your ranking, especially if you are trying to rank YouTube videos and other things that are on big sites. Okay, so with that said, let's see, I'll just switch back to full screen mode. Okay, so what is SEO? Well, SEO is really a very complicated and big subject, and I like to compare it to the fable of the blind man and the elephant. If you are trying to do SEO, you'll find something that works, and so your SEO will look like, oh, you have to do YouTube videos, or you have to do press releases, or blog commenting is the end-all be-all, or maybe you know, get a news site or an authority site or whatever else. No, it's actually an elephant, and it's really big and complicated, and it's important actually to see the whole picture, because that'll give you some advantages that most people don't have. Obviously, Tony's an expert in YouTube and in ranking videos and in doing SEO for those, and that's a cool thing, but you should not only do YouTube or only press releases or only blog commenting, because you're going to miss out on a whole lot of opportunities. So there's actually 8+ ways in which you can rank on the first page. So let's go see some of that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm switching to Chrome. I'm switching to Firefox. Okay, so this is the dog training term, search term. So right away you can see that there is a map here, and what's called a 7-box here, or 8-box, depending on the amount of competition in the area. There's an authority site recommendation engine, and there are several specific HTML sites. There's news, and strangely enough, this page doesn't have a video, but there's also the ability to rank with videos or with images. So this T-Digger page shows that there are images for this subject, and there's a video from our friend Dan Liu, and there are authority sites, Zazzle, and these are authority sites in the niche, like so Monster Jam Superstore, Amazon, Cafe Press, and so on. So basically there are as I said, there are 8 ways or more even in which you can rank. So there are images, videos, news, social, blogs, discussions, forums, and comments, and local and straight out websites. So if you're only doing websites, or you're only doing videos, or you're only doing press releases, you're missing out a whole lot. And by the way, if you have questions, I'm going to try and pick on the question box. Yes, the PowerPoint, I can make that available. It's actually not a PowerPoint. It's a Google Docs document, and ask me after the webinar. I will give you the link. Okay. So here's this trick that Tony talked about, and this is secret number 2, that you can actually rank instantly in many different ways. let's go back to I hate this. So if you, I'm going to actually demonstrate this with an authority site called Listly, sorry, and this one ranks pretty much instantaneously. And if you look for such sites, you'll find many others that are ranking pretty much instantaneously. So there's actually a secret in there that we will see when I do this. So only in the meantime, maybe you can field questions if there are any.
There's not that many questions coming in right now, Joe.
What webinar hosting? Okay, no problem.
Yeah. What we were doing, guys,
so
we
I'll just go ahead and do this.
Sorry. I thought you wanted me to give you a break
yeah, go
for
ahead.
a second. No, I just thought you wanted me to give you a break for a second. Look, what we were doing is we went over to listly.com. So, Joe, if you go over to
No,
Listly.
actually, list.ly.
Yeah, list.ly, yeah. Listly, yeah. Okay, and what keyword are we going to go for?
Well, okay, so I'm going to sign in with Facebook. Okay, not now. Don't do that. Okay, so I'm going to, I thought I would look for something cool. So I went to Munch-I, which is where all the big launches are pre-announced, sorry. And so I thought about this T-Digger. That's kind of nice. Or there's another launch coming, 160, and there are like 9.65 billion results for this, right? But I think I can rank on this page. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to take a big risk. If that doesn't work, then I'll just have egg on my face. Okay. So I'm going to make a new list. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so we'll call the list T bigger. Type is remote. Type is other, and I'm just filling out the tags. And filling out the description. Okay, and I'm making my list public. And now we're going to fill out the list. Remind me later, please. Okay, so here's a trick. You use bulk import. You can use quick add, which will, you put an image and you put a name, or you can enter a link and so on. I'm just going to do the bulk import. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the results of Google for T-Digger, and I'm just going to pick 3 or 4 of these URLs and put them here. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to go back to T-Digger and get another one. We'll do this like 3 or 4 of them. The reason we're doing that is, I'll explain this in a in a few seconds. But basically what we're doing is I'm taking URLs that are already ranking for the keyword T-Digger and including them in my new list. And I can put another URL here that's mine, or I can put it at the first. That's enough for starters. Okay, so I'm waiting for Listly to import all of the data, and okay. So we're done. Let's see what it produces. So it picked some nice text from the site, and it did a whole lot of nice SEO work. And I can move them around, I can add stuff, but anyway, so here's my URL, right? This is the URL, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check if Google knows about this page yet. I'm sorry, not that one. This one. Just going to enter it into Google, see if that one is already indexed. Okay, so I'm sorry, that Google is too smart for me. Let's do this. Info, colon, and then the URL. Okay, so it doesn't know anything about this. You can see that it says no information available for this URL. So what we're going to do next is we're going to submit this URL to Google. Submit site to Google. Okay. That was the wrong URL. I apologize. Add URL. Okay. So here's the site. I'm posting the HTTP link in here, and I have to fill out the CAPTCHA 23524865. Okay. And it says your request has been received and will be processed shortly. So let's go to Google and search for T-Digger. And okay, I'm sorry, I need to check if it's known already. Okay, so it doesn't know about this yet.
Joe, give me that URL, put it into the chat box, and I'm going to put it into Google Plus to get it indexed really fast.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah, this goes only to you, Tony. So can you copy it? I don't know why it's not working, but Google is having a bad hair day.
Okay, it just needs to be indexed.
Oh, here we are. So it's indexed now. You see, everybody sees this. Google knows about this. So let's go search for T-Digger. Okay, so we chose something too ambitious, I think. Let's look at page 2. This happens often. I just chose something a little too ambitious. Okay. Tony, do you have an idea which
yeah, I'm doing some stuff. I'm doing some stuff in the background to help, just to help it along a little bit. Let's revisit that one in a few minutes, Joe.
Let's revisit that one in later, and I'll just show you for a second that I did this for clients. Offline Resurrection is the product that I'm helping market, and here's my listing. Can people see this? And I did this yesterday, or I did this April 16th, and it sticks. I will try one more time, T-Digger, but I'm not optimistic. If it doesn't show up immediately on the page, then it won't. Okay. Oh, here we are. It's on page 2. Tony, it's on page 2. I did something too difficult.
Don't worry, I'm doing stuff in the background.
You're sneaky. Okay. So anyway, this is pretty good because I mean you can rank for authority through the authority vertical pretty instantaneously. And one good thing is that Google indexes these sites, these lists from Listly immediately, and it gives the link juice to all of the links that are mentioned in here. These are do follow, and they get a serious boost from being part of this list. So what did we do? We grabbed a list of links that Google already thinks should rank for this term. And that's kind of playing to the ego of Google, but seriously, it's just a way to show that we're linking out to authority sites and to sites that Google thinks are relevant to this niche. And another thing that we did is we used tags, right? So that's the secret I mentioned that's in there. Google is in love head over toe. I mean, it's falling over itself with love for tags. So it's really going to respect those tags, and it's going to let you tell it that way what you want to rank for. If you notice also, I did the keywords twice, once as a whole term, T-Digger, and once as individual words. So that's a third secret that's in there. Google ranks for, Google ranks to Google ranks for keywords, not only for phrases. And this way we can get a boost from maybe ranking for T and for Digger and for the niche that's made up of the two words. So basically these tags strengthen each of the three legs here, the full niche, the T ranking, and the Digger ranking. Okay, now the audience question, can you rearrange the list so your site is on top? Definitely yes, absolutely. You want to do that actually. You are the master of this list, so you can decide what to do. As long as you give Google enough evidence that this list should rank on page 1, then you are going to be able to insert any link you want. The next question is, Tony, do you have a direct line to God? I'll let Tony answer that. I think he has a direct line to some SEO experts. And anyway, here we go. So, Tony, are you done doing your magic there?
Kind of, yeah. I think we're on page 1. Somebody mentioned in the questions that we're on page 1.
Okay.
Can you just check
let's
that?
go back to page 1.
Yeah. You're there. You're there.
I'm still not seeing it. Wow. Okay, maybe I should refresh.
The Control and F5.
No, it's not showing for me. Okay, switch screen to yours. How do I do that?
Wait a second. Let me just check it's there first. Otherwise, we won't gain anything by changing. Let's just see.
Okay, so what Tony did was nothing really magical. He just sent some backlinks to the list. And that's another thing you can do. Tony has his ways, shall we say. and he's able to send links to that backlink, okay, to that list. So we can place in Listly the URL of one of our YouTube videos. Yeah, you bet. Okay. The question is, can God send me a couple of $1 million? No, sorry. Tony, are you?
I told him to sell on Udemy.
Yeah.
Did you see that course from Josh? He just launched it, I think, yesterday or last night. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was about Udemy course, and there's a guy called Jeremy Schumacher, otherwise known as Schumanny,
Yeah,
and he sold a course. I think it was about $150, and he's made about $3 million in revenue so far.
Whoa! I'm going to sell my courses on Udemy. Okay.
Yeah.
So should we switch screens or not?
No, it's no need right now. I need to. I think we need to be a little bit patient.
Let's go on with the presentation.
Yeah.
Let's go on with the presentation. I'll have a look one more time if anybody has any questions. As I mentioned, Listly is one. I have a whole list of about 30 or 40 sites that I can put on page one at any time I want. It's not magic. It's really just Google has this approach of giving preference to certain sites. It's a well-known fact. This is why your videos rank. This is why press releases rank. This is why some blog posts rank, and so on. It's just the site. Those sites get preference because they have a lot of trust. Some people say ADU sites get preference, and again, it's an after fact or a consequence, shall we say, of being authoritative. Okay, and I apologize for not ranking on page one. What can I say? Didn't always work. Okay, so can people see my screen? Let's go on. The content will not always rank, but backlinks will. That's the little secret, and that's obvious, right? I mean, content can be as good as you want it to be, but if nobody is referring to the content, then Google devalues that content. So references are social signals, like references on Facebook, incoming links, which Tony is making furiously to my Listly, and outgoing links. Outgoing links are very, very important, as we saw. I mean, these are all outbound links that give ranking power to the Listly, right? I mean, it's, let's see if you moved it any. I really want to see that. No, it's stubborn. It's stuck on position 16. Okay, anyway. So back to the presentation. So let's look at another search term. Let's say FB graphics design is a very competitive term, and you'll see that Facebook knows FB is an acronym for Facebook, and it's ranking a whole boatload of Facebook pages. It's ranking images that have to do with Facebook graphic design, and it's ranking a bunch of authority sites in the Facebook graphics design. It's ranking one video. This is a pretty competitive term, and there are 484 million results, which the results number is not really that important, but there's a lot of competition for this. Okay, so backlinks are really the king of the heap, and we should build backlinks. Of course, you should write really good content, and you should write unique content, but unique content by itself is not going to rank as well as if you send backlinks to it. And here's a bonus secret. This is something that is a little bit controversial, and it will cause a lot of discussion when I bring it up. Always causes a whole lot of discussion. People say, why are you black hat, and why are you doing black hat SEO? Yeah, I'm not ashamed of being black hat. I think Holly would agree that what she's doing is black hat. Pretty much any SEO is doing some shades of not white hat, right? The secret is that all SEO is black hat to some degree, because you're doing something to convince Google that your content should rank better than some other content. And Google really tells you as much. If you've watched if you've watched Matt Cutts talk about it, he says, just create awesome content and we will rank it. Well, maybe that's true, but maybe you will have to wait until the next millennium until your content will rank. And it's really a crapshoot. I mean, it's iffy whether your content will rank if you just write awesome content. You need to really do something extra to help that rank. And what's more, Google has in the past many times penalized stuff that they recommended before. So, for example, they say use your keyword on the page. Use your keyword as a decoration for your links. It's called anchor text. Use your keyword as the name of images, and so on and so forth. And then they went around and penalized this. Tony, how do I make this pop up, not show up with the color thing? Anyway, so they've penalized these things that they previously recommended, so nothing is really safe. There are only degrees of unsafe. Of course, if you send a bazillion links to some web page all at once, then you're going to get penalized or zapped. But if you do it carefully, then you're not going to get penalized. You're going to fly under their radar. A little secret here is that Google is a machine. It's not going to catch you always. And as an SEO, Tony and other people actually told me this. Your job as an SEO is not to rank the site. Your job is to avoid the manual review. That's your job. As long as you avoid the manual review where a human in Google, a human that works for Google is going to review your site, then you're likely to be okay. Any questions on this? And the other thing is really that you should get used to being slapped. You should get used to getting penalized. Because even if you play by all the rules, you're still going to, wow, I'm so busy clicking stuff. If you're playing by all the rules, then you're going to get penalized no matter what, because Google changes its mind. And to be fair, Google recommends something. They recommend it naively, like use your keyword on the page, and then SEOs that are not as smart as they should be go and put the keyword on the page 100 times. And of course they're going to penalize that because that's not useful content. Nobody can read it. They are going to show a page with 100 times that keyword, like dog, 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 buy my dog training product, dog training, and so on and so forth. No, nobody wants to read that page, right? So they will slap that. And every time that you get slapped, every time they do a slap, people that are relatively closer to white hat, they're going to get slapped as well, because it's a very blunt instrument that they're using. Their thing is not really, their algorithm is not really smart. Okay, I'll give you one more secret, if I can. Okay, this site, Readability Score. Okay, so Readability Score is a site that uses an algorithm, Syndicate, and other algorithms, but this algorithm looks at your text and assigns a grade level to the text. If you think you're immune to that, you're not. Even when you are doing video marketing, you're going to put a bunch of text on your video page, and that text is going to go through the various algorithms. There are like 5, but most important is this Syndicate grade level algorithm, and they are going to evaluate that. And if your readability score is low, like you're writing to kindergarten level, or if your readability score is very high, so you're using words that only a PhD understands, then you're going to get less ranking for that text than if you aim for between, I would say, 6th grade and 11th grade. Tony, that's your experience as well?
Sorry, I kind of missed part of what you said at the end there about sixth grade.
I just said that you should aim for the text to be readable and comfortably readable by people that are 6th grade to 11th grade, and not have to require a university degree to read your text.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the formatting of the text that you use is very, very important as well.
Formatting is very important, right?
Yeah, make it small,
and that's another
paragraphs.
thing. That's actually a very good point. Another thing that they penalized in the past is that they told you put your keyword in bold, included in the first paragraph in bold, italic, and underline, and then they went around and penalized it. So you can't do that anymore. However, you should definitely give them hints that what the keyword is. So the current thing is these tags, but I bet you that the tags are going to get penalized eventually as well. This guy is very stubborn. It's stuck on page 2 at 17 or 16, and that's it. Okay.
I've got a number 12 here, but I screwed up. I was using T-Digger with T-Digger, not with T-E-E. So I had to go back and do it again.
Okay. You did T-E-A, Digger?
No, just T-Digger, but I didn't do T-E-E.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll look at that.
I had to go back and do it again. No, it won't show.
Okay.
It won't show.
Okay, it's not showing.
Because you need to have that title doing the same thing. But I'll go back and do it in Google Plus as well, actually. Carry on.
Oh, yeah, you can put it on Google Plus. That usually convinces Google that it's really valuable. Okay, so I think it's time to talk about what I do a little bit again, right? So I mentioned there's going to be an offer, but okay, I'm sorry. Let's get to the discussion the conclusion of this thing. Basically, my attitude is slash and burn, and of course that's not really what everyone wants to do. You can't do this with brand name sites, but you can do this with pretty much every site that except brand names, because brand names are really valuable. So you should do what works, not what Google says, because what works is what gets you results, and what Google says will either get you results or not, but we know that what works will get you results. And you have to remember what the purpose is. The purpose for you is to get traffic from Google. Google is still one of the two big sources of traffic. I think they own about 16 to 18% of the traffic on the internet. Facebook owns another 16 to 18%. And you're supposed to build your business with that traffic. The goal is not to rank in Google. That's a means. The end is to build your business. So the fact that you're ranked in Google is just a tool. Your website is a tool, and it's replaceable. Of course, the corollary is that you shouldn't invest a whole lot of money in a website, and you should use authority sites like YouTube, like Tony is advising, and get traffic from there. And if you can rank in Google, that's nice too. And you should use a lot of backlinks to your website and YouTube to rank your sites. And sites are disposable. They'll be there one day, and the next day they'll be gone. And unfortunately, that's the reality. Even if you do everything by the rules, it's going to happen. And I've just decided to stop worrying about it. You know, it's like the Dr. Strangelove. I learned to love the bomb. You know. Okay. So what we do is, I was talking to Tony because Tony was looking for backlink services, and my backlink service is one of the things that he's checking out, and it's done for you. Basically, you just give us some information, and you get the service. I'm going to put this in the chat box. Tony, can you copy this to the entire? That's nice. Okay. Gosh.
Okay.
1 second.
Okay. I think we need to explain what it is, how you're doing these links, Joe.
Yeah.
And
okay.
They'll have a better idea what it is.
I'll go on talking while you copy this. I'll put it in the chat box, and you just copy it.
Okay.
Okay. I'll send it to the entire. Okay. It doesn't let me send it to the audience. Okay. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just show the site, the page. It really sucks bad. I'm sorry, but it's this page sucks really bad, but it's not important what's on the page. What's important is that it works. I have about 150 clients right now, and we're in expansion mode. And by the way, if you look here, you can see the results that my clients are getting. Obviously, I cannot show the their client site, but what we do is we take 5 keywords and up to 2 URLs. I'm sorry, 5 keywords per URL and up to 2 URLs, and we rank the sites, the pages that they give us. And over time, yes, it bounces around. Everything bounces around in Google, so this is just bouncing around. And sometimes you get results like this where you start at 100 or 66th position and you'll end up on position 13 or 18. This is a temporary, this is what happened in August 8. I should refresh that. Here's a good example of something that went from 420 to 92. And later I worked with this client and we got him to position 15. These are really hard keywords, by the way. Here's a client that broke into the top 10 for a keyword. And so what we do, so what we do is we take your link and we put a lot of backlinks to it. So we give you about 20 backlinks to each of the 2 URLs that you give us, 20 backlinks every week. They're made in a very quiet and steady manner. They're going to be not really flashy because we don't want to attract Google's attention. And one thing that I will say is my clients have never had a manual review, and I can put indexing links in, yes. And oh, the Google indexing link, you want the place where we put it. Okay, sure. Here it is. I will copy this into the chat box. I think that's what he meant, Tony. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted.
So back to, yeah, that's what they meant. They want the link to the Google Submit. Okay. And so I've had clients that have used this on their websites without any interruptions since about 2010. We've submitted more than 72,000 backlink lists for clients. Okay, I should mention each week my team uses a different list of backlinks, so different list of 20 sites that will use for a specific client, and the website gets backlinks from those 20 sites. And then next week we'll use another list, and next week we'll use another list. And we send the reports to clients every week. So this is the number of reports we've sent to clients, 72,000 since the time that we started. Some clients did get variations in their ranking. Sometimes a specific update did penalize them, like the different Penguin updates. Sometimes move them a little bit up or down, depending on the direction you look. And then continuing to build backlinks just recovered and continued from there, and they're constantly improving or staying put. And by the way, staying put is a very, very good situation to be in, especially in a competitive niche, because the fact that you're staying where you are means that your competitors, and there are competitors there, you bet that there are competitors that are trying to unseat you. So the fact that you're staying put means that your competitors don't have success unseating you. And that's a really good thing. Okay. Any questions about
Joe, why don't you explain a little bit about how you're finding those backlinks? I mean, we mentioned before about finding PR5 backlinks and things like that. So if you can go into that a little bit and explain to them what you're actually doing there.
So what I do is I use various backlink scrapers, and I use several Fiverr gigs to scrape links. I use lists of backlinks that are published in a forum that I'm in. I'm using a lot of different sources, and we filter them for page rank and authority, and we will find those backlink sites that are page rank 5 and above. Okay, why don't I bring up my PDF and I'll show you guys. This is the stuff that you're going to get in the next slide. One second. So, okay, here we are. And my machine is very loaded, I apologize. So it'll take a few seconds. So you get these backlinks that I'm waiting to show you what happened. Okay, sorry. Apparently I didn't click. Okay, so I'm giving away this PDF after the on the last slide. So these are PR9, PR7, PR7, and I'm giving exact instructions. PR5 listly, that's the one we saw, and so on. Essentially what this is a list of sites that I would use or my VAs will use every week to rank the customer's sites. And I would say we go through about 500 websites before we find one that will include. So less than about a tenth or a fifth of a percent of the websites that exist are included in the lists. So it's a lot of work to get those sites. You wouldn't want to do this yourself. It's hours and hours to find these sites. And I used to sell the lists, but I am no longer selling the lists because they show up instantly on Black Hat sites, and then the websites get really attacked by Black Hat people and devalued. Okay, so that's how we do this. So we go through the lists of about 500 to 1. We pick the sites that are PR5 and above that allow you to leave a link on them that will not delete the link immediately. We let the links sit there for a couple of weeks before we include the website in our packets. We check that the links go direct, they're not redirects, and there are a lot of various things that you'd have to check in order for the link to be really valuable. And we do all of that, and then my expert virtual assistants or VAs are creating the links for you and going around and going about that quietly and trying to stay under the radar. Every week, only 10 clients get each list. So that means that the number of new links on a website from us is only 10, whereas most websites probably get hundreds and even thousands of links a week just naturally. Like I know Listly gets hundreds of thousands of links naturally. Facebook gets 100,000 per minute, and so on and so forth.
Okay, Joe, let's
I
let's
wonder
just
if we could, yeah, go ahead.
let's just take some questions right now. Sorry, guys, I've been kind of frantically doing stuff
Yeah.
in the background. I got distracted with this. Somebody's asking, strangely enough, can you do link wheels between these lists? And this is one of the things that we were sort of talking about when you first showed me that, to do little clusters of these kind of
Yeah, we
listly
can
things.
do that. We can do that, definitely. I haven't tried it, so I cannot comment on how effective it would be. You know, you don't want, if you want to rank your website, right, Tony? If you want to rank on T-Digger on page 1, you really don't want the listlies to show up because they're taking real estate, and you want your website to be there. So it may be for some niches it's too powerful. Okay, while I'm bringing this up, I'll talk about the background. Iligan, weather problems. Okay, Iligan is the city where my VAs are. So I did this to demonstrate to a VA. And look at this, it's ranking at the top. The VA wanted to make a website about how they're getting hit by typhoons repeatedly. And here's my listly ranking for this term as at the top, and it cannot be removed because it's so powerful. It's just sitting there. Only way that I can remove it is delete the list. So it's an atomic weapon, really. You want to be careful. So I guess what I'm saying is you should not overpower the website that you're trying to rank. Does that make sense? Oh, Tony,
I think you can do it that way, but I mean there's several ways you can use this. I was sort of pondering that the first time you showed me. If you're doing this with your own content, if you're curating your own content, it could be pretty powerful, and you can put links in there as well from that content that is pointing to a money site, etc. So there's various ways that you can do that. I'm looking at the search results right now, and after the stuff I've done, it's been jumping quite a lot. It was number 12, and then it went into number 8 here, and then it's jumped out to number 14.
What keyword, Tony?
T-Digger. It's been jumping in and out, but you were talking at the time, so I'll stay quiet.
Oh, look at this. T-Digger, one word. It's ranking number 2. Number 3, sorry.
Yeah, I was jumping about for me, so I'm back on page 2 after being on page 1, unfortunately.
I'm surprised, like you put the space in here, it ranks elsewhere, but if you put it as one word, you'll be, I am consistently not seeing it on page 1.
Yeah, this actually reminds me of using playlists on YouTube. It's very kind of similar the way that you can use that.
Yep. And I'm still seeing it. I'm still seeing it on page 2 at number 16. But the word T-Digger as one word, as we've seen, it's number 3. And Manchai, this is a site that belongs to my friend Chris Munch. He's ranking above me. Well, okay, so it's not very competitive. There are only like 300 results, whatever. But it shows you that you can rank. Well, you pretty much can rank anything for a page for a term that has only 300 results. So I wouldn't claim this to be impressive in any way. Okay, so let's go over what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the basically worry-free backlinks. You can change the links at any time. You can change your keywords at any time. We'll give you a month for basically at cost. I'm paying each VA $37 for the work. So we're giving you the first month for $37, and that means that you basically as far as I'm concerned, I'm not making any money on that, and you're getting to try it for the cost of the VA. It's as if you hired 1/10 of my VA. And then after that, it's just $67 a month. And comparable services that do backlinks to PR5 and above websites, they're hundreds of dollars. I've seen 175, I've seen 197, and so on. We don't bind you into a contract. You can cancel anytime. As I said, the sites are really, really high PR and high authority. We started paying attention much more to the domain authority. That's a measure from moz.com, where it's pretty good correlation to whether a page will rank on page 1 when it is from a higher authority website. And the other thing I didn't mention on the site is that you don't just get the backlinks and when you stop paying they go away. No, you get the backlinks because you're basically paying us for the work, and the backlinks are essentially free because you get to keep them. And also the pages that we create on these high PR sites, they're yours. We give you the login and password for each of these pages, and you can later use that. So we're not just building you backlinks, we're really building you a so quote-unquote hiding in plain sight link network that you can use to rank anything in the future. Okay, are there any questions about SEO? Like, do you have your SEO problem and you want to ask either Tony or myself? Maybe there's some questions that we can help.
Yeah, we got a whole ton of questions in here. There's no shortage in here. So David was asking about where you get the backlinks from. So if we can just cover that again briefly and just sort of explain
how to get the backlinks.
Yeah. How are you finding the backlinks?
How I find the backlinks.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the page where I give you the opportunity to get it for $37 a month for the first month, and then later you can get it for $67 a month. As I mentioned, there are a bunch of people that have subscribed in 2011, and they stayed since then because the thing just works. I mean, they're stuck at like position 5, position 7, some position 1 for their keywords. So yeah, this stuff works, and you can get it at this website.
I think it's how you're sourcing the backlinks, Joe. How you're sourcing them and what kind of backlinks that you're actually getting. I think there's a lot of confusion looking at the questions there. Yeah.
Sure, I'll put up the PDF again. I don't know where it disappeared, but anyway. So you are going to get this PDF after the webinar. Here, how we source them. I'm sorry, I don't want competition for the lists. It's not like you're going to find sites that you really want to use because they're like diamonds in the rough. There really are about 500 sites that we have to check before we find something like Codeplex or Plurk. Well, Plurk is very well known, but Codeplex might not be. And CK Editor or Listly. We found those through the lists that I buy on Fiverr and the lists that I scrape myself with Scrapebox. And I think there's another tool. I haven't started using it yet, but GSA Search Engine Ranker. Some of your buyers may already have it, right? Some of your people may already have it. Tony?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who've been buying it. Yeah.
I understood from Holly's presentations that you're using those tools. and that's an awesome tool. I'm definitely going to get it and use that for scraping. And then what we do is we go through all those lists painstakingly. We filter out all the low page rank and low authority sites. We filter out all of the sites that are not do follow. We filter out all the sites that don't allow backlinks. We filter out all of the sites from that delete your backlinks. We filter out all of the sites from that don't get indexed by Google, and so on and so forth. You know, it's like a winnowing process, and you get maybe about 1 in 500 survives and makes it into one of the packets, this packet that my VA makes every week. So she's literally going through about, I would say about 10,000 sites a week to find the 20 that she's going to list. It's not something you want to do by yourself. And then the instructions are pretty clear, but everything, I would say, doing one of those lists from A to Z is about 2 hours of work. Okay, it's 2 hours, 3 hours of work, especially if you're not experienced, and your time is worth a lot more. I would say I definitely earn more than $67 an hour in my job. Yeah, I have a full-time job in addition to being an internet marketer, and I earn $67 or more in my daytime job. Not to brag, but my time is valuable, and I'm sure your time's valuable as well. And this is going to take much more than 1 hour just to do once per month. So you're better off spending the money and delegating this to someone that knows what they're doing. They're not going to make mistakes that are going to land you in the penalty box, and so on and so forth. They're not going to cause Google to re-examine your site or re-examine your links. This is really important. You want to stay away from the manual review as much as possible. Okay, you don't want to trigger a manual review, because if you do trigger a manual review, you are going to get penalized if you build any kind of links. And that's my advice. Let's see what else. What else can I say? Okay, so someone is asking how do you decide? Oh, do you do blog comments? Okay, thank you. Okay, do you do blog comments? Well, I don't really do blog comments. Sorry, I don't, because I think it's spam. Okay, blog comments basically put your link on a post that someone spent a lot of effort producing, and they are and you're basically defacing an existing web page. What we're doing is we're creating new web pages with only your link and the text that is relevant to your link as much as possible. We're not spamming existing web pages. And okay, yeah, blog commenting is effective, and it is going to raise your website's authority, and as a result, its ranking power. But I personally don't do it because I just don't think that it's something that I want to do. So what's the difference between that and what we do? Okay, maybe I can. I don't want to show client websites, and I don't have one ready to go. I apologize. I don't have a report ready to go. I can show a report that you're going to get. Maybe that's something that you want to see. Okay. Let me go to my Google Drive. Okay, so I will show a report, but it's going to be so tiny that you're not going to be able to see the actual backlinks, so it's okay. And so this is what the client gets. This is the name of the site. This is their profile. This is the username and the password. This is the name of the packet. They're getting 1 or 2 links on each site and so on. I'm going to have to delete this. I'm sorry. I don't want to disclose the client. Okay. So, and as I said, we have done. Let's see. We've already done 11,000 reports this year. Okay, this is the work orders for 2014. We've done 11,000 already on that for this year. Each client gets 1 of these each month. Okay, 1 of each this week. Okay, how long does the site remain ranked on?
I think he's actually talking about
Listly.
Yeah, well, I just responded to that. I said it really depends on the keyword whether it's going to get onto page 1. But I've got so many ideas what can be done with that that particular strategy. I think it's actually quite a neat little strategy if it's used in the right way. And if you're curating your own content, it's the first thing that came into my mind. That's a really, really good way to do it. Now, if you're using related keywords around your main keyword, and all of that content that belongs to you has got a link. For example, if you're doing something like a link wheel, or if you're doing a blog network, a first tier, you could use it that way as well. And that way you're getting, you're pushing somebody else off page 1 as well if you're getting that one onto page 1.
Exactly.
Sort of less competitive keywords. I think it just takes a little bit of, it's just so similar to playlists. I think it just takes a little bit of creativity to be able to use it correctly. But I actually think it's a very, very neat idea if we could automate it, which is, the first thing comes into my mind when I look at that.
We talked about automation. Automation.
Yeah.
I'm a lazy bum. I haven't done anything about this.
Yeah.
Okay. But is it okay if I put the link to the PDF in the chat box, or will?
Go ahead.
I think we'll just put it on the Facebook group, or what?
I think we can do both, actually, Joe. If you got the link there, then let's put it into the.
I can put it here. Sorry, let's see. Okay, yeah, it's here, so I'm going to send it to you. And Tony is going to paste this for everyone to get. And again, this is selling, it's selling at $19.95. Okay, so it's a $20 gift for you just because you're attending the webinar. Thank you for attending. Are there any other questions? We're over time by 15 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, okay. I think we've got quite a few questions here, so let's just go through some of them. Okay. Clayton's asking what's a Facebook group. Clayton, if we've got a Facebook group, and I made a mistake and I made it secret instead of closed, and it means I've got to manually add in everybody. So if you find me on Facebook,
you can make it closed again if you want.
Oh, I thought it said at the time I couldn't. And anyway, Clayton, if you just friend me on Facebook, it's Tony Hayes Thailand, and then just send me a PM, and I will add you in there. Just remind me to be added into the Facebook group. Larry's asking the backlink stuff posted manually. Larry, what they're actually doing is they're scraping the sites, they're analyzing the sites, and Joe's got a VA that goes and does everything manually in there.
Yeah, it's done manually, so it looks natural. It doesn't, we don't use spinners or anything like that. We don't use generated text.
Mark is asking, can we use this for local SEO clients? I would say definitely, yeah, it's a great idea, because these are quite high page ranks. So for local, I think it can rank very, very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've been asked another question, which is, do you send those backlinks to your money site, or do you send them to like a buffer site like your YouTube videos or any other buffer site like a weblog on blogger.com and so on? Well, that's a great question, and the jury is out. Okay, if you are going to send all of these high-powered backlinks to a very new website, that's going to trigger a review, and you don't want that. But you can, and then like if you want to rank a new site, I would advise creating several buffer or first tier properties like Blogger, maybe Squidoo, maybe I don't know, maybe the Listly, maybe WordPress.org, and so on and so forth, and WordPress.com, I'm sorry, and so on and so forth. So, and then you send the backlinks there, and these sites are built to take a beating of backlinks, and we're not even sending thousands of backlinks. We're really sending only 20 to 40 backlinks a week, and that's basically a little noise relative to the enormous din that is in the web creating backlinks. It's like it just disappears. It disappears into the woodwork. It's not even going to be suspicious or anything. And as I said, each VA has 10 clients, not more. So each client gets a new list every week, and only 10 clients get the same list every week, each week, sorry. So week 1, 10 clients get list number 1. Then the same 10 clients will get list number 2. Then the same 10 clients will get list number 3.
Joe, we're getting a few questions about the actual strategy itself. If you don't mind, we'll cover that kind of quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Van is a little bit confused. This is this for having social links on page 1. I think you're talking about Listly again, Van. The Listly thing was actually just a little bit of fun that we wanted to put in there, and to create a little compelling headline for the name of the webinar. But the actual links that Joe is doing, those, the way I would probably use them is to use them for videos or for first tier. I did do a little test with them going direct to a money URL. But I would definitely go for the videos or go into the Web 2.0 where they can take these kind of links without any problem whatsoever. Exactly. So the Listly thing was just a bit of fun. That's not what he's selling, okay? So let's see what else is here. Can it be used for videos like what Holly is doing? Kenny, yeah, it can definitely be used for that. I think that's probably the best thing to use this for anyway, as far as these backlinks that Joe gets, because they are high PR, and they will be very, very effective extremely quickly, in my opinion. Okay. What's the URL for the backlinks? It's cut off on the screen. Let me just get that for you, and I'm going to
I'll show it again. Here is the link. I'll put it again in the chat box. I'll put it in the Skype group, I'm sorry, the Facebook group later, once I'm done with the webinar.
Yeah, okay, so I'll put the link into the answer for Norman there as well. Mark is saying they've been testing while we have been watching a ranked second page so far for top agency, Wichita, and best ad agency, Wichita, without any backlinks. Thanks for doing that, Mark. That's a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Can you put the PDF link in there? Did we already do that, Joe?
I'll put the PDF.
Okay, you get that. I'm going to find some more questions here.
Yeah.
And Dennis actually put the link in here for us. Let's just see.
Okay, thank you, Dennis.
And I'm going to put that into the chat box as well, so people can get that. When you go through this PDF, guys, you'll see the amount of work it's going to be able to get these kind of backlinks, and how much work is needed to put it actually in there.
It's really, I really want to emphasize that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So you're getting, I mean, I have one full-time virtual assistant. All she does is find backlinks for me, you know.
And Gary's asking, do the backlinks have to be niche related, or do we just send you a niche topic to start with?
Oh, okay. Well, in my experience, okay, so this is really the question about do the sites have to be relevant to the sites they link to, right? Whether you have to get links from a niche website like a health website to your health money site, or whether it's okay to get backlinks from general websites. Well, guys, if the general websites didn't work, right, then Facebook wouldn't be valuable for backlinks, and Blogger wouldn't be valuable for backlinks, and YouTube wouldn't be valuable for backlinks. So, because those sites are huge and they don't have one topic, they don't have like one thing that they talk about. These sites are highly effective for niche websites. Sure, if you can find websites in your niche that are high authority and that you can get a backlink from, of course you want to use those. But these are general backlinks that will help your website to rank. The reason I'm not doing niche-specific lists, I tried it, but it's just not commercially viable. I'm sorry. It's not possible to do this and earn a living because there are just not enough of them for random niches like, I don't know, I mean, supplements or get your ex back, or, you know, if you have DOI, driving arrest, or whatever. I mean, people are using all of those for, they're using my backlinks for all of those with good success. And of course, if they can get a backlink from another attorney to their website, then I'm sure they'll be happy to get it, and I'm sure the other attorney will be very unhappy to give it. But my point is that it's generally extremely hard to get 20 backlinks a week from niche sites, right? It's just not, it's not going to work. Oh, I got a question here from somebody. They're asking if you can use this for local websites. Right, Tony? So I would say, and if it's good for YouTube videos, yeah, you bet. I mean, so first, local websites. My clients, a large portion of my clients are local marketers. My biggest client, who has 24 subscriptions in my service, he's a local marketer. And he's using YouTube videos, he's using websites that he created for local businesses. And you certainly can use the website. You can certainly use those links for local websites, definitely. Okay, I think we beat this enough, Tony.
Yeah, okay. Just some people can't get the actual PDF. So it seems to be.
Yeah, I'm showing the PDF, so I know it's online. But
all right, guys, we're gonna have to put it inside the Facebook group.
Yeah, I will put it inside the Facebook group, and I'll put the registration link for where you can get the service to the Facebook groups. And does this work together with Holly's approach? That's a great question, and I don't know specifically about what she does, but I can tell you for sure I've combined this with other approaches. And I also want to say one thing I forgot to say, that you have a website that used to rank high, and then you got penalized, right? You got penalized by, let's say, Penguin. And then you're getting these links and you're expecting to rank again. That's not going to work. The reason it's not going to work is because Penguin penalized you for some reason. Like maybe you have too many backlinks with the same anchor text, or maybe Panda penalized you for a reason, like your web pages are overloaded with specific anchor text. And until you fix that, until you get out of the penalty box, nothing will help. because they're not going to, I mean, Google has a black mark on your website saying this site is penalized for spamming, and you're not going to rank no matter what. Until you fix that, you're not going to rank at all. No matter if you buy my links, even if you buy a link from a PR10 website, you're not going to rank. So you need to know what the situation is with your current ranking, and be honest with yourself. If you use some spammy ranking and ranking method from Fiverr in the past, it's likely that you got penalized and you are not going to recover because you used my links. Okay, there were two questions in the box. One is it good for Amazon? So, okay, first of all, the branded links. I'm sorry, I don't understand. You choose the links and you use the keywords, and some websites, you use the keywords and use the link. So the link could contain your keyword if you use that as part of the URL on your website, right? That's the question. And some of the links that we create are going to be bare links. They don't have anchor text. Some others do have anchor text. So for those that do have anchor text, we will put your keywords in there. Okay, hope this answers the question. Is this good for Amazon product listing? Yeah, you bet. I'm using it actually right now. I'm in dropship domination, and I'm using this with my listings, and I'm beating the hell out of other people. What about using these links for non-English sites? Definitely, no problem. People are doing that with my stuff, and they are ranking very, very well. There's no reason why, and I forgot to finish the question about whether you should use niche sites or not. This is the end of the answer. So, in my experience, what matters is really what is on the same page as the page that contains your link. So we put a lot of text that is relevant to your keywords on these pages. So for example, you add a description here in this Foursquare, you can add a description with 200 characters, and then you can add a tip for each of the places you list. This Foursquare, so it's a check-in website, so you can add more keywords in your tips. Okay, what about the anchor text? Main keyword or branded links? I don't understand the question, but I think you can have both, depending on whether you want whether you're using the keyword in the URL. You can have that, and you can also put the keyword on the anchor text. The question is, do these sites work best directed to money websites or Tier 1 Web 2.0? If it's Tier 1, does that mean each Web 2.0 is a new subscription, or 20 links to 20 websites? Okay. So at this stage in the game, especially if you're ranking a new website, I would use Tier 1 like Tony wrote, and I would not put the links directly to my website. However, if the website is already indexed in Google with like a couple of hundred pages, and you're sending 20 links to one web page, it's okay. The question is if you have to create a new subscription for each Web 2.0 website. No, there are two reasons for that. You can rotate your links anytime you want, I advise to rotate your links anyway every week or two, because otherwise you'll be creating too many links to one specific web page. And so you can put, let's say, Blogger and YouTube in the links that you send me first week, and then you do Listly and BlogHer, and then you do Facebook and Amazon and so on and so on, okay? You can rotate, and over time you'll get strength, link juice to all of these Web 2.0 websites, and they'll over time rank your website. There was a question I want to answer, even though it's kind of iffy question. I got penalized, and should I stop my backlinks? Okay, so you got penalized. Don't panic. Check why you got penalized. Okay, go to your Google Webmaster Tools, figure out what the links are that are causing the penalty or causing your website to rank lower. And if they are my links, by all means you should stop. If they're not, continue using my links, okay? And be honest with yourself. You know, a lot of people tried a lot of different things. Some worked, some didn't work. So perhaps you need to get rid of some links that some previous SEO created for you. Okay. Yeah, okay. The question is if outgoing links are important. Good question. So let's see if I still have the Listly. No. Okay, T-Digger. Okay, so the Listly. Here. Okay, so you saw this page ranked without any backlinks to it. Well, Tony created some backlinks to it, and but its relevance to the topic is determined by the incoming links as well as the outgoing links. That's why we chose all of these backlinks, all of these outgoing links that are already ranking for the same term in Google. That will give Google a signal that, hey, this page is ultra relevant because it links to 6 pages that I'm already considering the top pages in this niche. So that's how that's an example or demonstration that outgoing links are really, really important. Tony answered the question about which Facebook group. Just friend me or Tony, and we'll put you in the group. Any more questions? I really think that we overdid it here. An hour and a half. It's way over time. Tony, are you ready to wrap it up?
Yeah. Okay. I just let me just take a couple of questions, and we can sort of wrap up.
Wow, there's no questions. Okay, good.
Yeah. Let me just cover some of these. So Richard's saying he's in several of Facebook groups. Which one will the PDF be in? In the new Commando HQ group. We had one before that was just not a good group.
Tony,
the smaller one is active.
I have a request.
I
have a request.
Okay.
How about you rename the old group to...
I can't. You can't rename them.
Commando HQ old or something.
You can't after they've been
separate. Yeah, you can't.
You can't after they've got 250 members or something like that. So there's not a lot I can do, but I can close it, but I don't want to yet. Okay, so yeah, just friend me on Facebook if you want to get in that group. So we've got a new one. It's got I think about 600 members now. It's smaller, it's more active and things like that. So it's much better. Let's see. John is saying he's got a couple of new sites he's launching in the local niche. Would I have to create Web 2.0 sites myself, or do you VAs do that? What Joe's doing there is just doing some backlinks. You need to create the Web 2s yourself, but they're very easy to get done, John. Or you could just use you can just create some videos for those sites and use those videos as your first tier, as long as they've got the link in the description to your local niche site. Okay, and let's see. So download link to the video.
Can I mention one thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're going to use my service, it's slow and steady. Okay, it's going to work, but it's not like the Listly. It's not going to rank on page 1 in 1 minute. Okay, because it takes time to for Google to find all of the backlinks. We are providing free of charge for every subscriber. We're providing a service where we index all of the backlinks. So your backlinks are achieving an indexation rate of between 85 and 90%, which is pretty much unheard of. You're lucky today if you do this yourself, if you get 30 to 50% indexation if you don't use a service like we use. Okay, so give it time, and nothing happens. Contrary to what I demonstrated with Listly, sorry, that's an exception that you get on page 1 immediately. YouTube might be another exception, but most often you take a lot of time to get to page 1. Even YouTube videos sometimes take 4 to 6 weeks. Right, Tony?
Yeah, I would imagine so for these kind of links, yeah, for sure. Anyway, I think we should just wrap it up now, and we can maybe take some questions in the Facebook group, and we can get that PDF in there as well for people. Okay, guys, well, thank you very much for your time, and we're probably going to be doing another couple of webinars this week. I've got a couple that are outstanding to be done for bonuses. I've been saying that for 2 weeks, but I definitely want to get 2 done this week. So maybe Robert, if you're on, you can maybe help me to get a couple of those out later in the week. And hopefully I'm going to have Ray the video guy back this week as well. I'm really hoping that we can, because we've got some new stuff that we want to share there as well, a content webinar too. Okay, so thanks for your time, guys. Thanks for attending. Any questions? Joe will be in the Facebook group, and he can take some questions there, and you can download the PDF from there as well. Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Everyone who attended. Thank you, everyone who attended. Thank you, Tony, and